there guys, welcome back to another awesome video, and today we have the one and only, it's finally here, the Q&A video. So for those of you that aren't aware, or those of you that don't know, I want to say either in a specific video or in a community tab or in some place or in multiple places for you guys to leave questions specifically for the Q&A. And so I have these questions jotted down and archived, and here they are right in front of me. I'm going to read to you all on this paper. And this is going to be the first time we're doing a Q&A video. Now, however, this is not the first time we've done a Q&A. Technically, we've done live Q&As in the past, and maybe we'll do some live Q&As like little-ish down the line, and maybe we'll do more of these Q&A type videos down the line if you guys like these ideas, and if you guys leave specific comments, or if you guys leave specific questions for other Q&A videos we can do. This will be the first Q&A video, and then we can maybe do more and spawn more. But for now, this will be the first video. I was hoping we would get more questions for this, but the amount that we have is pretty decent for our first Q&A video. So let's kind of go down. There's not gonna be a specific order. I might read off, maybe some will be in order, some won't be in order. You guys will see the screenshots of who left the question, so that way I'll read off who gave the question, and also you guys can see who it was. And it's also a shout out to everyone that did participate, and I appreciate all of you that did participate. And if there are any of you that didn't get a chance to participate, like I said, if you guys want to see more of these types of videos, like a Q&A type video, leave some questions and specifically say, hey, leave this for a Q&A, or like comment down, let's do more Q&A videos, or let's do this for a live Q&A. Maybe we'll jot up some questions for a live Q&A and I'll answer those, and you guys can also then reciprocate more questions. So I'll have a list of questions, and then you guys will jot in the chat something. We'll work on it. We'll figure out ideas as we go. But for now, here's the first Q&A. And we're gonna start off with a very old question a while ago, and it's from Sky Guy. I wish he was still around. Hopefully he's still around. Hopefully you're still kicking, Sky Guy. But first question, which I thought it was an interesting question. I thought it was funny. I don't know if it was specific for a Q&A, but I just figured I'll write this for a Q&A. And that is, was Batman and Robin worth it? This specifically talking about the old 1990s Batman and Robin with George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell and everyone else. But I don't know if it was worth it, but if we want to look at it deeper under the surface, it kind of wasn't worth it. But if we do look at it like under the surface, and if we do a lot of digging, it kind of like historical wise and time and events that occurred, it wasn't worth it. But in a sense, if we didn't have this shitty Batman movie, we wouldn't get the Dark Knight trilogy with Christopher Nolan years later in the early 2000s. And if Joel Schumacher actually succeeded and Batman and Robin did actually really well, we probably would have had a more shittier Batman movie. I don't know. Batman Triumphant or Batman Unchained still sounds like a very intriguing, canceled script and canceled movie. So, I don't know. We'll save that for another idea. We'll talk about that another time. But I don't know. That's up for debate, but I wouldn't say it's worth it. But I guess in the long scheme of things, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to admit that Batman and Robin was worth it, so let's not admit that. Next question I'm looking at right here, which I might have to take a second here to think of, is that what Disney character or any character deserves to be slapped and why? Very random, very silly, but I like it. I didn't think of an exact answer before recording this, but I will do this kind of on the spot and think of whoever I can think of off the top of my head. Who deserves to be slapped? I mean, I could think of like something just to be mean. I want to slap Jar Jar in the face, but I want to have like a reason. It's got to be a character that did something stupid and give me a reason to slap them in the face. I don't know. I feel like there's probably some, but they're just not coming to my brain at the moment. I want to say Star-Lord in Infinity War, but the thing is, like, I'm not one of those people that hates Star-Lord for whacking Thanos in the face what they had with Thanos. So I'm not one of those people that's like, I hate Star-Lord for doing that. It was very justified that he, like, was getting aggressive, but I wouldn't slap him. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I swear, after this video is done, I'm gonna have an answer. It's gonna be one of those situations. So, Faith Harris, I wish I could answer that with a actual, like, legitimate reason, but the only thing I can think of is I'd want to slap Jar Jar for being annoying as hell, or literally give me a annoying character, I'd want to slap them in the face. That's it. Next question we have from D-Dog. And D-Dog asks here, what's your favorite video game? I feel like this is tough, but at the same time, I can answer this very easily, and that is Kingdom Hearts. It's my favorite. It might be confusing, the lore might be crazy, it might be convoluted, but honestly, there's a lot more worse lore out there that could be more confusing and more draining and a lot too much. Yeah. But besides the lore, I think the lore is great. Even if it is a little convoluted, it is a little crazy, I feel like I can try and follow it as best as possible. And even outside of it, I love Kingdom Hearts. I love it. It felt like something I almost, not I grew attached to, but I almost grew up with in a way, a small sense. And just fond memories I have of it. And just, plus it's just perfect to me. It feels almost flawless. There's gonna be a few times there'll be a few reoccurring people on here, but shout out to everybody that has left these questions. But D-Dog again asks, what's your favorite holiday? I would always think in my head that it will always be Christmas. I always like birthdays, anniversaries, especially that. I love Belle and I's anniversary, our 1 year anniversary, and anniversaries that we will have. And other holidays like Halloween and etc., etc. But Christmas is just one that always just makes me smile no matter what. I mean, there's been times when even at my lowest emotionally, Christmas somehow just puts me in a nice feel. And I can at least be like, hey, let me, like, it kind of puts me in somewhat of a decent mood. And it just, there's something about it's like magical time. It's just something that it just brings you just to warm feels. Even like being in Florida, Christmas just still makes it feel nice and warm and cozy. There's 2 more questions from D-Dog actually. So we'll do those 2 for last, and we'll go back to Faith because Faith Harris has one last one here, which is, what's your favorite video you've ever done? And you know, I've been pondering this question for a while. I've been pondering this answer because there's been quite a bit of like videos I'm actually like genuinely proud of that I've done in terms of whether it's a review or top 10, whether it's the edit, whether it's something I said, whether it's like a perfect cut, a perfect edit. Sometimes there's just little things in my videos that I'm like, that's perfect, or I like when I said this, or when I said that. Whether it's something serious, whether it's something legitimate, whether it's something funny, there's just something, like there's little things like that that I'm like, that's what I like with my videos. That I'm like, there's so many I could think of. But one I feel I'm very most proud of, I want to say, is there's a few that come to my mind. I want to say there's some of those videos I've done where I mashed up music with pop culture, like I did Sandman, like Marvel Sandman with Metallica's Enter the Sandman. I did Flash and Back in Time, Huey Lewis in the News, like stuff like that. I'm very proud of in terms of those editing skills. Like I just love how I just cut those together and matched it so well with the music. I don't know. There's a lot of reviews I could say that are my favorite. I don't know, I have to really look back at each one I've done, but I'm very proud of like a lot of my videos. But I think the one that keeps popping up in my brain is I'm really fond of the tribute I did to all the, I know this is like not very like this is very like a weird thing to say this is my favorite because it's very emotional and all that, but I really like my tribute I did to the comedians, like all those comedians that have passed so many years, and it gave me a reason, well, with unfortunately Bob Saget's passing last year, it kind of made me spark an idea that, hey, why don't I not only just talk about Bob Saget, but let me kind of like do a little tribute to some of the other comedians of the past that I may or may not have been, like may have not gotten the chance to really talk about because I didn't really have YouTube when those people passed away and never really shared my thoughts, specifically like people like Robin Williams or let's say Gene Wilder. I never really got to express many thoughts on like how I felt about their passing, and any actors in general like that during those eras of years. I just never had a channel yet, so I just figured let's put some of these guys together. And plus I just wanted to do a nice little message about like all these guys are hanging out together all in heaven playing in the comedy club in the sky, and it just like I don't know, I just thought it was really good. may not be the best, like, in terms of like how it's edited, but I'm really proud of it. It's one of the things I think I'm one of my favorites. And I don't know, I'd have to probably go down like all my reviews and all this other stuff and specifically go my favorite review, my favorite top 10, my favorite TV show I covered, my favorite game I did, like all this other stuff. I can go on and on, but I think the one that is staying consistent in my brain and my memories that I'm thinking of off the top of my head that was one of my favorites was that video and putting those songs together, both Man on the Moon and Have You Ever Seen the Rain? So I'm really proud of that one. I'm gonna save that one for last because that's gonna be like a story time sort of thing or a little small moment to talk. So we're gonna finish and do the next D-Dog question. Well, these are the last two D-Dog questions, but what is the absolute worst movie you've ever seen? And this one was tough because there's a lot that I've seen in my life. I haven't seen every movie, but ones that I have seen are pretty bad. And when I was thinking of this question, a lot of the times the same ones almost came to my brain, which was Batman and Robin, Frozen, maybe not Frozen, but I don't know. Just I have a lot of thoughts with Frozen, the first one specifically. Pixels. For some reason I kept thinking Independence Day 2, which is Independence Day Resurgence, but I think I'm gonna stick with Batman and Robin, even though it's hilariously bad. Definitely Batman and Robin, maybe Frozen, but hands down for sure Pixels is definitely one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Probably, I'd say that. There's probably others that I'm forgetting, like I might be like, oh, Son of the Mask, or The Cat in the Hat, live action Cat in the Hat. There's probably a bunch of others I've seen that I'm just like not thinking of, but definitely Pixels is one that keeps coming back in my head. And the final question, which I think is perfect to kind of end off this, is what made you want to do YouTube? Now, I really appreciate that question a lot because what got me into YouTube is pretty much a lot of YouTubers that I follow kind of inspired me at a certain point. I remember it was around like 2014, maybe 2015. I was watching, and I still watch these guys, maybe not as often, but I still watch these guys. Like the main people I watched that inspired me to want to do this channel, even my old channel, was I'd be watching movie reviewers like Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, John Flickster, aka the Flick Pick, aka John Flickinger, and movie reviewers like that, and watching other people like Watch Mojo and getting like ideas on top 10s that they do, and seeing gamers like Blitzwinger. I used to watch. I don't watch him as often, but I still follow Blitzwinger. He was one of the first gamers I watched that made me want to go, I would love to kind of do some gaming. Even the K-Wings kind of like gave me that inspiration a little bit. And over time, it's been other YouTubers I've seen, but it's mainly those five to six channels I watched often that made me go, you know, I want to talk about movies. Like seeing Jeremy, Chris, John talk about movies made me want to talk about movies. And they talked a little bit about TV shows and all these other things. So I saw all this other stuff and I was like, man, I want to do this. I want to do this one day. And I remember like 2015, 2016, I really wanted, 2014 into 2015, I really wanted to get into YouTube. And I was very like, I wanted to start a channel. It was kind of, long story short, very like, it was not A-okay for reasons, but I was kind of like, but everyone else gets to do this. Not everyone else, but I felt like other people get to do this. Why couldn't I? And as I was getting older, and then when 2019 came along, my friend Jada and I came up with the idea of doing channels, and that just kind of sparked it from there. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, we're doing a channel with him, and kind of like doing like an incorporated idea at the time. And then it kind of like spun off into like giving me the idea to say, hey, if I can be in his channel, if he can do videos and we can do videos together, I should start my own thing. Like it should be fair. And I just took it from there. I took it into my own actions. I took it into my own control. And here we are, 2019, flash forward to, what was it? It's like 4 years later. Here I am still on this platform. I'm a small person, a small creator, but hey, I like to at least think that I can help, influence, maybe give someone knowledge, or maybe just inform or entertain. Whether it's inspire, influence, inform, or entertain, that's fine. If any of those apply, or if you're just here because you're a good friend of mine, that's a fifth thing too. to then be like, hey, I'm following you for any of those 5 reasons, then I appreciate that. So those are the questions. If you, like I said, you guys have any more, you're more than welcome to leave anything in the comments section down below this video. And if not, leave them down in the end of the videos and let me know, or hit me up sometime. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, if not a week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every day, every week. Share the video with your family, friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave any suggestions as well in the comments. You name it, I'll look into it as best as possible. We have some top 10s to look at, some movies to look at, a few live streams we're going to be doing soon, all that other stuff, and more. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you all for that left these questions. Thank you again to Faith Harris, to D-Dog, and even though I don't know if he's still around, but Sky Guy, if you're still watching, I counted your question, so thank you for leaving that and giving me that idea to talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.